Let me go to Meg. I know Meg has a lot ahead of her today. Meg, this is my last question to you. You have a lot of Nigerian people in your constituency, a whole lot of them. Let me quickly inform you, Nigeria celebrates a democracy today, 12th of June, and there is a public holiday in Nigeria. In your assessment, how far do you think Nigeria has come in terms of its democratic principle from what you have heard from your constituents and from what you read?
Well, I mean, there have been some well-run democratic elections, so that's a good start. But I think everybody would acknowledge that there's still a long way to go. And I think when so many people in Nigeria are living on less than $1 a day, it's for them, survival every day is a luxury, is something that they have to think about. And voting and thinking about holding their elected representatives to account in the way that I would expect to be in the UK is for many of them just a stretch too far when they're thinking about feeding their children. So I think that is one of the challenges for Nigeria. It's such a populous country, such challenges and such poverty, and of course the challenges with in recent years with violence mean that there are a lot of people just struggling to survive. But it's actually, the same goes in my constituency. There's a lot of the people who get engaged with politics have got their basic needs supported, and others get involved perhaps out of necessity, but it's not something that they have time to do when they're working 4 jobs over 7 days. I mean, that includes, some West Africans in Hackney who are working hard just to make ends meet and help their children get on in life. They don't always have the time to get engaged. So we've got to also, in all of this debate, make sure that we give a voice to the people who don't otherwise feel they've got time, energy, or the right to be at the table. And we need to make sure that if they can't use their voice themselves, that they are supported by those of us who are elected to speak for them.
Thank you, Meg. Thank you for joining us on the program today. Your last thought on this program and your message to your constituency who are watching this program in Britain and around the world.
Well, I can only do my job with your support. I can only know what the things that affect you in your life, the treatment you get, the mistreatment you get, or the inequality you face because of your race or colour or accent, if you tell me about it. So it is really important that you talk to me so that I can represent you. And I think one of the key things I try to do is to support people who don't look like me to one day succeed me. And I just would say that yesterday Diane Abbott celebrated her 33rd year as Britain's first ever black woman MP. But it took a decade, Tunde, for her to be joined by one other black woman, and then another 8 years for a third to join. We now have 65 black and Asian and minority ethnic MPs in the British Parliament. That's about 10%. But it shows we can't be complacent. And Diane fought many battles and was a lone voice for a very long time. So it's important that we have those voices at the table, but those of us who are white are also listening and channeling the messages and concerns from communities that perhaps haven't got the same voice they should have.